that actually when like defending.
I think it's like
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Man.
Come on, Ian. Just like the big man said there, people deluded. I'm back again. As you can see in front of me, let's go over the latest news, views, talking points, rumors, etc., concerning our football club, Arsenal. Don't forget any comments that you have throughout this video. Get them across, people, either in the comment section after when this premieres. Please make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing, and the rest of it. And I hope you're doing well and safe wherever you lot are. Now, as we know, Arsenal are trying to get Saliba to sign a new deal. And again, we'll never know the truth. And again, no matter how much these journalists say sources and their friend knows this guy and that guy within the club, they might be right, they might be wrong. We don't know until something is provided to us. We hope Saliba stays. I think Arsenal have done all they can on a playing front. He's a key part of the team. You know, you actually saw his absence more when the guy weren't there. And at 21 years of age, we need to commit him. You know, I wouldn't say give him whatever he wants, but you need to pay him handsomely. You need to pay him on one hand, in my opinion, when you consider if he was to buy a bit like Saka and Martinelli, if they were at other clubs and they've done what, you know, Saka off the basis of the 2 seasons, he's got double figures in the Prem, Martinelli, breakout star now, obviously William Saliba. I don't even, well, Kroenke can afford it, but I think where the budget for Arteta and Arsenal are concerned, it will be a myth. The man's 21. We want him to stay. He's wanted by other clubs. And, you know, him, Saka, Odegaard, the rest of them, they'll be wanted, you know, good clubs or big clubs want big players, and these guys got potential. And if we ever want to sell him, we need to make sure we're in a comfortable position to get top money for the guy. So I wouldn't say pay him what he wants, but you do probably have to pay him not quite as much, but in line, not that I'm pocket watching, with what you've given Martinelli, what you've given Saka, maybe what his industry peers, you know, I don't know what Gnonto at Liverpool, but for instance, he's a youngest centre back. He's playing in the Premier League. He's been called up to the World Cup squad and French national team. So we have to hopefully we get there, people, really and truly. You have seen some rumors that apparently his agents, we came close to an agreement, his agents backed away because they saw that he was actually worth more. I mean, I can't lie, that's a very good agent, really, and he's 21. Ideally for the club, you want to sign him to a 5-year deal. For his agent, you want it probably to sign a 3-year deal, maybe with an option of another year, just because you're always 18 months away from a new deal. And half the players that have signed improved terms or in the process of doing that at Arsenal will get more money and better contracts if they keep developing. Arsenal have been shocked by William Saliba's wage demands amid PSG interest as Gunner struggled to agree a new deal with the highly rated defender. You know, when you consider all the new contracts we're given, whether we get the Caicedos, the Diabys, the Declan Rices of this world, they're going to want to be on top money. But Arsenal prepared to treble Saliba's wages to keep him at the club. Talks began prior to the World Cup, but a new contract has yet to be agreed. The highly rated defender only has 1 year left on his remaining deal. Now, some rumors are a bit more positive, and they say that this deal is basically done. He'll be given the number 2 shirt, and when he signs that deal and it's all dotted and crossed, there'll be an announcement of it. Arsenal have reportedly been shocked by demands made by William Saliba's reps in the defender's ongoing contract talks, and mid-fears French champions Paris Saint-Germain could make a move for star. Well, international teammate and childhood friend Mbappe's there. He's a Parisian, and on the footballing front, he'd be great. But come on, Saliba, man. This is the first time to us fans. I don't know how you and Arteta have been in terms of consistent dialogue since he's come into the club, or manager since you've been at the club. But as a fan, this is when there's the most clarity. You're playing games. It's not like you're on the bench, you're out the team. I think we're doing all we can, really. But for what it's worth, he only has a year left on his deal. There apparently is an option of extending it by a further year until 2025. But did we not hear that about the 2024 duration of his deal? I don't know, but he's got a year left on his deal. The club have been in talks with Saliba's rep since before the World Cup, but no agreement has been made. We're willing to treble his wages from 40 grand a week. So, yeah, that makes sense, really. The Gunners have reportedly been shocked by demands from his reps, which are claimed to be nowhere near the 120 million offer on the table. I mean, you have to consider that you might have to sell him, really. It's probably a game of chicken, really and truly. And I'm sure other clubs will be licking their lips at the prospect of getting him. Arsenal claim to be fearful that PSG could offer a higher wage offer to encourage him to sign for the French champions, with the club unwilling to risk losing him on a free next summer. That's true, fair enough. If they give you the buck and we can make more than the 27 million we initially spent in 2019, why not? I would say, though, maybe let's not let us get into this situation again, or as much as we can help it. Arteta is allegedly confident Saliba will put pen to paper on fresh terms, but only when the time is right. We all know he's been integral on the field to what we've been doing, and we hope he follows the Bukayo Sakas, the Gabriel Martinelli, the Big Gabby, Ramsdale, and potentially Odegaard and Benjamin White in committing his future to the football club. People, once again, this article is just leveraging the fact that Paris Saint-Germain are allegedly monitoring him. We've been linked with Gnonto, who plays for Leeds, who have been relegated from the Premier League. I mean, he's a good young player, really, and he could be someone part of the squad. He's drawn interest from Fiorentina, Sassuolo, and even Roma. Allegedly, Manchester City and Arsenal are following the situation closely, waiting to understand what Leeds' decision will be on the future of one of, I think they mean their 6 purest talents. You'd imagine Tyler Adams, McKennie, as you can see here, Gnonto, maybe a couple of other players keep it moving for Leeds following their relegation. No surprise he's wanted by clubs back in his homeland. And again, I'm sure he wants to make the Euro squad with Italy if qualifiers are still going on. Don't know if you're going to get that in the Championship. Once again, we've been linked with Moussa Diaby. It will surely be a very busy summer for Arsenal over the coming months, and Moussa Diaby could be a headline early signing. I don't know with Reece Nelson signing a new deal what that means for our pursuit of another winger. The French forward is widely tipped to leave current club Bayern Leverkusen and has been linked with the Gunners, Paris Saint-Germain, and Newcastle United. According to Sky Sports reporter Dharmesh Sheth, the North London Giants could make a move for Diaby after missing out on Barcelona's Rafinha. Again, not really any substance to that. Roberto De Zerbi has said that McAllister and Caicedo have very good chances to leave Brighton. For McAllister, it is 100%. For Caicedo, I would say 90%. He's wanted by Man United today. Links have started. Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. From what I understand, when Caicedo signed a new deal at Brighton, there is no release clause, but De Zerbi, this is Romano Voiceworth, promised him that when in January Arsenal approached, he told the player to stay with us to the end of the season and he will sell you in the summer. This was the plan. It was promised to the player, and so this is very respectful from De Zerbi. But you've signed a new contract, and promises are comfort to a fool. And in business, promises mean nothing if it's not legally binding, which it isn't that really. But now it's time to find solutions for Caicedo. Many clubs are interested. Arsenal are still there. Many others are keeping an eye on the player. Chelsea have Caicedo on their list. I would love the guy at the football club. Once again, he's reportedly been promised that he's allowed to leave. But promises, once again, don't mean much. Paul Brown has spoken on our pursuit of Declan Rice and Mason Mount. It's clear they want Declan Rice. I suspect Caicedo is the number 2 option if they can't get him. A midfield of Rice and Mount has all sorts of possibilities. It would be brilliant to watch, I think, if they could pull that off. But it's clear that Arsenal are going to spend a lot of money this summer. And midfield as a position they're looking to strengthen in. So it might be that they bring 2 in. Yeah, and some others have said bringing in 2. I'm not too sure of the outlay, spending all that money, giving new deals. Again, the Kroenkes have a lot of money, but I don't know how far it spends. Obviously, with Milinkovic-Savic's contract expiring next summer, once again, he has been heavily linked with Arsenal, and actually for the last few months, apparently his agent is going around trying to drum up interest, people, and his agent has Arsenal on the list, and apparently people they're scheduled to take a meeting with Arsenal. But when you look at various reports on this guy, just by typing his name on Google, he's linked with everyone, including clubs in where he's at the moment, which is Inter Milan, AC Milan, and Juventus, who he's been linked with probably for about 10 years now. Leicester have set an asking price for Arsenal, Tottenham, or Newcastle to sign Maddison. People, they value him at 50 million. Apparently he's contracted until 2024, so I don't know, having been relegated, if they would if they're in a position for that. Maybe they say, do you know what, you stay, you play in the Championship and you help us get promoted. But for Maddison, he could probably get a more important contract at Newcastle, at Arsenal, probably Spurs as well. 2 of the 3 clubs listed are in the Champions League. He probably needs to play Premier League football. He's finally getting in the England squad after years of campaigning. You're not probably going to go to the Euros if you're playing in the Championship. So he's probably got to force their hand. And Leicester have probably known his intention for a while, people. Apparently, those clubs could be looking at a deal of around 35 million. Not sure how much they initially spent to get him from Norwich, but you'd imagine that must be a decent little profit there. Liverpool have joined the race for Lavia, and they've been linked with Lavia, Kone, a number of decent players, people. This article has also said that Chelsea are a possibility for Lavia. Arsenal are big fans of the Belgium international, and also that Manchester City are considering making a move for him as well. We'll have to see. The Gunners have sounded out the possibility of a deal, but are still keen to land other targets such as Declan Rice and long-term favourite Caicedo. So we'll have to see. Another one that's got Euros to think about, and another one that's playing Championship football. Had Southampton have stayed, I think they keep him for another year, but it's not going to happen that way. Arsenal are happy to sell Tierney to Newcastle. Now, you have seen some reports he's missing home. He wants to be closer to family, which Newcastle is right around the corner from Scotland. You'd be joining a team that is in the Champions League under a great manager in Eddie Howe, and you'd play a lot more games. I think personally we need to learn the lessons that, not City learn any lessons because they ran away with the Premier League title, but Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus gave us a new dimension. Tierney in his mid-20s will do exactly that. 30 million probably is about right. You know, bit part player, does have injury problems. You know, that's the only marks against Tierney's name, but he is a first choice starting Premier League quality left back. He is in his mid-20s, and it would be fantastic business, but he's seen his stock falling really. You've seen Kirill play left back, Tomiyasu play left back. Zinchenko's not losing that role. Days, unfortunately, are probably numbered for Tierney. He's on 110 grand a week. You probably get more comfortable terms. And for someone that was described as a future captain, it's a shame. On the topic of new contracts, Arsenal open Martin Odegaard talks, people, over a new deal. He has 2 years left to run on his, and we're trying to get our captain to sign a new deal. 15 goals and 8 assists in 37 PL games, people. Keep it up. And he's got 24 goals and 15 assists across 105 appearances for the football club. So keep it up, keep developing. Hopefully, Saliba and Odegaard, you know, I want Odegaard to stay and things, but he's got longer in his contract. The next contract news I want to hear is that Saliba's committed, but we'll have to see in that regards. That's just saying Smith Rowe has lost weight and looks sharp in training, which is great. You've seen reports regarding Smith Rowe that, you know, he's not being sold under any circumstances. Arsenal reportedly considering a move to sign Inter Milan midfielder Hakan Çalhanoğlu as a replacement for Granit Xhaka. We'll make of that what you will. Quite a decent player. We've been linked with the 29-year-old for a while. Not really too much longevity. Not that I care about the age necessarily where he's concerned, because he brings experience. He's about to play in the Champions League final, but I don't really buy that. I'm sure there's an admiration for the man's talents, but yeah, I'm not too sure. The combination of either Rice or Caicedo and Çalhanoğlu could then become a possibility. We'll have to see. You know, again, Caicedo, Rice's, Lavia's, Madison's, everybody's going to sell people for a premium, really and truly. If we're honest with ourselves. A couple of young players have been linked with moves away. We all know Charlie Patino seems to want to depart, according to reports. And apparently Zach Awe, again, who some Twitter accounts that claim they know youth and Haaland say he's the best defensive talent that we've had in 20 years. Respectfully, you know, to him and Arsenal, that's a load of nonsense. He's a decent player. He will have a future. I don't know what level. We'll have to see when he's exposed to first team football. Extremely error prone, decent on the ball, quite brave, you know, decent defender. He's not bad, but yeah, not going to happen here at the club, really. So if he does want to depart, fair enough. He has been linked with championship teams. So the 19-year-old has my blessings. Opportunities are hard to come by. You've seen Kirill, a centre-half, coming for 20-odd million. Gabriel and Saliba are ahead of you. You've got Benjamin White and Tomiyasu there. It's a myth. It's not that hard. Not criticising Arteta, but for all the young players like Zach, who's been on the bench, not too many of the Haaland boys have been afforded debuts. So it is what it is. You've probably been at the club since 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age. Now at 19, it's now time to spread your wings and fly. So we wish Charlie and Zach the best possible scenarios if and when they depart. I do hope Charlie stays, but it is what it is. Inter Milan allegedly have entered the fray to sign Balogun, people. Apparently it will cost at least 35 to 40 million euros, people, which again, I don't know how keen they are on him, but it's a profit for someone that's barely scratched the surface of the first team. That sell-on clause, keep it moving. You know, we were linked with Fresneda again yesterday. Today, Romano has said Arsenal appreciate Ivan Fresneda since January, but they have not sent any official proposal despite reports. No concrete negotiations at this stage. Race remains open with Borussia Dortmund interested. We'll have to see. Benjamin Pavard wants to leave Bayern Munich, really, and he can play centre-half as well as right-back. I wonder if anyone's keen on that. Let me know your thoughts on anything we've discussed so far. Once again, Roberto De Zerbi has said certain people can leave. I don't think I read out his exact words, but apparently he said, I think that can be the last game for Alexis and Moyes. I'm really sorry. They are two great people and two great players. The policy of Brighton is like this. I think it's right. They can leave, can change teams and play in a higher level. We are ready. We have to find other big players to play without Alexis and Moyes, which is true. Really, apparently Brighton fought hard to keep the individual. De Zerbi has tipped the duo to star for a big European team with their combined fee expected to be 120 million. So is that about 60 million a piece? If you ask me about Caicedo and McAllister, I love them. They're two big players and can be in a big European team. They can play in every competition and are ready to compete for a big team. And I hope for them they can play in the best team in the world, people. 60 million, if that's true for Caicedo, if it's a combined fee, obviously one could be a bit more than others. If we just assume half, get it done tomorrow, really and truly. if I'm completely honest with you. Again, as it stands, not only, you know, we've been talking about Caicedo and Declan coming into the club. Granit looks dead set to go to Leverkusen. Apparently, Partey was linked with a move away. Apparently, a journalist, Chris Wheatley, has come out and said, you know, he is likely to stay as things stand. And I think it would be silly to let the 29-year-old and Granit Xhaka leave, really, no matter if we bring in Rice, Caicedo, Lavia, all of them, really. I think it would be silly. Thomas Partey is a player who's had a really good season, actually. I'd agree. I think he's really impressed a lot of fans, and he's made that position his own after having quite a few injury-plagued spells in the Arsenal team. I think Partey is likely to stay at the club as things stand. Arsenal are looking to bolster their midfield. I don't think Partey is looking for a move from the club at the moment, and I think he's been fit for 31, 32 of the games in the Premier League, which for his standards is great, but we do need other options, because as much as I love Kieran Tierney, Tomiyasu, and Partey, and hope they all stay because they're good squad players, you can't really bet on their fitness, really and truly. And again, the best quality you can have for a team that's aspiring to go all the way in every competition is being available. How many players are available consistently? Injuries happen, but you could probably bet your life Ramsdale will be available, Gabriel will be available. On paper, Granit Xhaka is still at the club. Xhaka will be available. We want Saka to get a lot more rest, but Saka being available. I would say Jesus as well. Of course, Jesus had that mad injury. And obviously, I would say Martinelli as well. I think the way they play and their bravery is going to see them pick up the injuries that they do pick up in the circumstances that they did. But we'll have to see in that regards, people. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Once again, looking at goal.com's transfer column, apparently Arsenal have tabled a lucrative offer for Ivan Fresneda. Arsenal will not sell Smith Rowe this summer. PSG are not only looking at Saliba, but also Martin Odegaard. Alexis Sanchez is eyeing a return to the Premier League, and Arsenal have been linked with Alexis Sanchez. Not sure that makes sense. Paris Saint-Germain are ahead of Arsenal to sign Vlahovic, and also apparently you're hearing Bayern Munich are on that. It will take 80 million euros. In relation to Milinkovic-Savic, this report is saying 26 million euros will be enough to prize the Lazio midfielder away. Arsenal have been offered the chance to sign Ansu Fati. We've been linked with Elise of Crystal Palace. We're set to win the race for West Ham's Declan Rice. We apparently had a bid rejected of 17 million euros for Boy of Galatasaray, but reports have come out since then and kind of quashed our pace of getting a deal done. Nelson's allegedly agreed a new deal to stay at Arsenal. We've been linked with Rabiot. We've been joining the race for Jules Koundé again. The dream is free. The Arsenal was sold separately. Some of these reports I don't think we believe. Bayern Munich in the last few days have been credited with being interested in signing Declan Rice. Once again, we've been linked with Szoboszlai and Dani Almo. So yeah, people, there's a lot of news, views, and talking points to consider. Let me know your thoughts on Saliba's new deal. Do you think he'll sign? What do you think of Declan Rice and Caicedo? Would you prefer Caicedo or Declan Rice? So yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything. You lot make this platform. You lot stay blessed, stay safe. Any other rumors and news, you know I'll be alert to it. So make sure you're not only following on Twitch, but you're turning on your notification bell. And yeah, man, stay blessed, stay safe, stay good in good health, and I'll see you lot later, man.
There's always just that active red flag defending.
I think it's like